December 2021, Devon Franklin and Meagan Good effectively split as a couple. And many people in Black America, particularly I would say the Black female dominated audience, was very disappointed. I mean, because this young African American couple had called it quits. And remember, Devon Franklin is somewhat of a pastor or a relationship coach or dating coach. And so this particular split really looked sort of down on him and his ability to coach others in the relationship business. Now, why is this important? Rewind, Demo! So as you know, on December the 1st, Alan Roger Curry, popular dating coach, passed away. But his last post predicted the fall of Devon Franklin. And it's almost scary because this article just came out yesterday. But listen to what Alan Roger Curry says. Demo, sad music! At the risk of being a wee bit petty, I am going to bring up a momentary debate I had last year with the lead attorney regarding the issue of credibility when it comes to book authors and self-help gurus. Back on December 22nd, 2021, I made the prediction that Devon Franklin would suffer a loss of credibility due to him now being divorced. And consequently, I predicted that the sales for his book, The Wait, A Powerful Practice for Finding the Love of Your Life and the Life You Love, would drop significantly. Before his divorce, that book of his, The Wait, was regularly ranked in the top 10 on Amazon in the category of Christian marriages and Christian self-help. And it was regularly ranked in the top 100 in the category of marriage and long-term relationships. Look at the rankings now. Christian marriages, number 369, Christian self-help. Number 1006, marriage and long-term relationships. Number 999, all rankings as of Sunday, November 27, 2022, approximately 6:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Alan Roger Curry, before passing away, made a serious prediction that Devon Franklin actually exposed just on December the 1st on the newest episode of Red Table Talk. He talked about being divorced, okay? But before I get into that, he also had a talk on the Black Love channel on TikTok. I want to play this particular spiel that he makes, and then we'll come back and talk about what he had to say.
There's a few things I want to say. Can we just keep it real? Are we family here today? So one of the things that rocked me to my core was, how am I going to get through life? Right? Like originally, when we first did Black Love, I think Meagan and I were on the first season of it. Originally, my game plan was, I want to get through life perfectly. I want it all to look good. I want to say the right lines. I want to wear the right wardrobe. I want to have the right job. I don't ever want to make a mistake. Everybody talks about Black love, but nobody talks about Black divorce. Sometimes Black love looks like pain, but that doesn't make it any less powerful. So I decided to just, let me speak from that truth of just being honest. It's not about Devon and all the other accolades. It's just about me as a person, as a man, going through life, trying to figure it out. And guess what? There are others trying to figure it out too. And so what I'm learning is that love is an essential ingredient to a healthy love life, but you also got to have growth. You got to have complement. You got to have shared values, and you got to have sacrifice. So if you are single and you are looking for love, please do not allow the fact that it may not have found you to get you bitter, discouraged, frustrated. Because I'm here to tell you that love does win. And if you are in a marriage and if you are in a relationship, please hear this last thing. So often we can be so committed to being right that we allow the rightness to turn off our listening. And if you love them, do everything you can to make it work. Y'all, I love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. Thank you, Black Love.
So let's look at what he says here on Red Table Talk. Now, obviously, we can't play it because they will copyright it. But he says this, him being divorced on the other side of a marriage that didn't work. He says this, it changes everything. I just bought a piece of property, first piece of property. In the contract, Devon Franklin, an unmarried man, Franklin recalled, I might have well broken down because I never saw this moment. So to live in the I don't, you don't know what it's like until you do. Now, he's on there with a few of the other popular dating coaches, Matthew Hussey, Stefan Labossiere, Cherie Zampino. But I want to discuss this situation as far as how it relates to men who are married in the United States of America. And that typically means that you just cannot predict the outcome. Really what is what it means, right? Devon Franklin is a guy that was a devout Christian, a man who wanted to be married. Unfortunately for him, he chose a woman that, really didn't want to be his wife. And you can sense that because obviously there was a level of equality and a lack of respect for him. And that lack of respect permeated the marriage. She never changed her. Well, I think she did change her last name, although professionally still going by Meagan Good. And there was a lot of equality in the marriage, and he wasn't looked at as a leader. And as a man who's in the profession of being a self-help coach, and you having to divorce your wife, possibly because you feel like your wife is disrespecting you and doesn't respect your leadership, must be a hurting thing. And I want to tell all guys this, that it happens as long as you're dating, right? You're going to have relationships where you really want to be with the person, you really want to be with the woman, but you've just made too many mistakes. You let some things go on too far. And unfortunately, when things have gone on so far, you can't really go back and change those things and work them out because the respect is already lost. And it hurts because, a lot of times, I was talking to Brother George Meagan the other day, the women that we want the most, we have the hardest time getting. You know how you'll have some chicks that you like to smash or whatever, but the one that you want to is the one that's always acting up and she's not available and she plays the most games. And you have other opportunities, but you don't really like those girls like that or those women like that. You want this one. But guess what? That's the one you need to let go because she's just not interested. And it hurts because you really are feeling that particular person for whatever reason. And it sucks. But that person needs to go away. And Devon Franklin thought he had the woman of his dreams. And guess what? He didn't. But here's the flip side of it. It's always better as time gets longer. Now, for women, I would say initially they kind of are able to get back into dating much quicker than men can. Men take marriages and divorces very difficult. It's hard for us. But now, what I will say is continue to still develop yourself. Worry about what you need to do. Don't worry about what others are talking about. Keep worrying about what you need to do every day as a man. Things are going to work out. It might not work out like, you planned. And there's a lot of investment going into dealing with women. You give your money, you give your time, and you hate to see that thing go down the drain. But sometimes you just got to cut your damn losses, man. It's just really what it is, and if it's a headache and you're not happy, we hear about women being unhappy, but a lot of men are unhappy. How about that? A lot of men are unhappy. A lot of black men are unhappy. And one of the reasons why is because we're dating women and getting in relationship with women who haven't seen a functional relationship. And it's twofold. We don't really know how to be strong men. They don't know how to be submissive women. So we're trying to meet somewhere in the middle because of what society is telling us. And then the women end up not respecting us because we're just too weak. And our feelings get hurt. I know it sucks because I always tell you guys, they always go and deal with somebody else that's giving them less than what you're going to give them. It typically is going to happen. The next woman or the next guy your ex-wife or woman's going to be with is probably going to give her a lot less effort than you, especially if you've been married. And you have to see like, wow, this is what I've been dealing with. This is what she really would go for. It happens all the time. But you shouldn't worry about that because that person can no longer destroy your life anymore. And you should be very okay with her going away. Trust me, you'll be glad that you did. And Devon Franklin will be much more happier in his new property without Meagan Good being there. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. I'm out.